We're back with another Halloween 2020 edition of Vintage Toy Freedom. And this one may be a bit of a stretch, but definitely I think fits in with the Halloween theme. This is the original Spawn action figure. This one is what they call the hamburger head, because the regular one has the mask. This one, he's unmasked, but he's all, they say it looks like Hamburger. This is not from McFarlane. It's actually from Todd Toys. So it predates McFarlane Toys. At first it was called Todd Toys. And then they changed the name to McFarlane Toys. Not really sure why, but when you see the Todd Toys versions of these are like the OG Spawn figures. And this is from 1994. You can see here it says Todd Toys is a brand name of TMP Toys. So again, very early, I guess you call it a six-back. So they had Spawn Tremor, Medieval Spawn Clown, Violator Overkill, the Spawn Mobile, the Violator Monster Rig, and Spawn Alley. So it was kind of like the OG Spawn release. I picked this up recently from a guy who bought it new. He had some Spawn figures, and they were just kind of sitting in the garage. And you can see it's kind of yucky. The plastic is just kind of deteriorated. There are some dings here and there. It's not in horrible shape, but I definitely think this would look better out of the package. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to open Mr. Spawn up. You've seen me open a few other Spawn videos. Maybe you haven't. If you haven't, search for some of the other ones I've opened. There's a gold clown. There's a manga Spawn, Violator 2, kind of with a cybernetic arm. What else? I know there's like an Angela figure I've opened, and I don't know. I think there's like I've opened a Total Chaos figure. So there's a few. There's a few Spawn and maybe some other McFarlane kind of like Spawn adjacent ones of Total Chaos that I've opened. If you haven't already, if I remember, I'm very forgetful in my old age. I'll post a link if I remember. There's a short documentary about Todd McFarlane and kind of Spawn and the toys and all that kind of stuff. That's really interesting. And it just, ooh, wow. Whoa, that smells, I don't know, just like old comic book, old plastic. It's a very kind of a weird smell. So I'm trying to open this carefully and also not hurt myself. This plastic can be sharp if you ever, obviously, like when you get things like batteries or headphones or chargers or whatever. It's like this kind of thick, kind of clamshell plastic. Not really sure what it's called. Anyway, so this video talks about kind of the founding of Image Comics and how those creators, Jim Lee, Willie Portacio, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, I think there was maybe one more, were at Marvel, and they're being kind of not given the recognition or treatment that they deserve. So they went and started their own company, Image. And one thing that's really cool about Todd McFarlane is he's always been about creator rights. So anybody who creates something for Image, they own all the rights. So that's pretty cool. And they changed the game. Specifically with toys, one thing that was really interesting, they kind of talked about that and him starting the Todd Toys, later McFarlane Toys, is just the level of detail in their figures. And obviously McFarlane still, I mean, there's stuff at Target right now, some DC figures, some Batman figures, and other DC characters. And they're just really high quality stuff. If you looked at the toys of that time, like what Toy Biz was doing, and Kenner, Hasbro kind of bought them out around this time, you're talking about like Batman and Robin. You're talking about DC Total Justice, all the Toy Biz X-Men and Spider-Man and things like that. And they're, not horrible. I mean, stuff like this, it's not horrible. But McFarlane took it to a whole new level of detail. And, oh look, there's some tape back here. That's interesting. So this is just kind of taped in there. And basically people are like, oh, we can't do that. Our toys can't look like that. And he's like, why not? And then they made these really like intricate, crazy looking toys that they're still making today. So really changed the game both for comics and for toys. So check that out. Again, I'll try to remember to post that. Cape swings open and close as shown. Try not to break it. It's kind of like, not perforated, but it's definitely meant to flex right here. Remove chains from waist and place in Spawn's right hand, or place weapon in hand. So he can hold the spiked piece of wood. I don't really want to remove that from his waist. Remove chains from waist and place in Spawn's right hand. Oh, I see. They just kind of like... So that's kind of weird. Okay. So that comes out, and I guess he can like hit somebody with a chain? I don't know. I think it's better to just kind of keep it. Let's put those guys back. And when Spawn came out, so that would have been like 93. I was 10, and I was like, you know, perfect age for Spawn. And obviously Spawn #1 was huge, and those first, I don't know, 10 issues or so were really huge. And then I think some of the fanfare kind of died down a little bit. But, you know, they made a movie, which wasn't great. They made the cartoon, which I hear is good. I haven't actually seen it on the HBO. And the comic's still going. Like, I don't know how many, is it like 300, 350 more? I don't know. There's some special issue that came out not too terribly long ago. I don't really follow comics as much as I used to. Okay. So, he's got this little, I don't know what you call it. It's not really a collar. It's more of a clasp for his cape. You can see even here in like this, again, OG line of Spawn figures that there's attention to detail. See? So it stands. The cape makes it stand. You know that I am a big proponent of action figures being able to stand. So it can stand. You can kind of tuck his arms in, so you can kind of go like that. Doesn't stay too great. He's got his weapon, this little clasp, the chains, and then it comes with a comic book, which is cool because it's Spawn. And you know, if you want to read about Spawn or learn a little bit more about him, then this Spawn figure #1 from 1994 can give you a little bit about his origin story. So, you know, nothing new with that. Obviously, Masters of the Universe came with comics. The Ghost Rider Toy Biz came with comics. But usually they didn't come with full-size comics like this. And I believe these are exclusive. I'm pretty sure these are, you know, like this is exclusive. It's not a reprint like the Ghost Rider stuff. No, Ghost Rider stuff, I don't know if that's reprint or not either. I don't know. But cool, you get a comic. You know, it acts as the backing board for the toy. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. When you bought this for, looks like it cost $5.99 back in 1994. So, Spawn. The OG Spawn from Todd Toys 1994 Hamburger Head version, as it's known. Along with this special edition comic book. So really cool piece of toy history. It's 26 years old now, which is crazy to think about. But I think it still looks cool, still stands the test of time. There's obviously new Spawn figures coming out. I guess there was a Kickstarter not too long ago, so those will be coming out. I guess there's, you know, a renewed interest in Spawn at the moment. So so kudos to Todd McFarlane and kind of what he did for the comic industry and continues to do, and for the toy industry. I think really innovative guy, and he seems pretty cool. He seems definitely legit. As always, thanks for watching. Open your toys, play with them.